What was Queen Victoria buried with? Queen Victoria served as the reigning monarch of Great Britain, India and Ireland starting in 1837. Her demise on the 2nd of January 1901 marked the conclusion of a 63-year era that bore her name, causing profound shock within the British Empire and beyond. So when did she pass away? At 6:30 p.m. on January the 22nd, 1901, Queen Victoria, aged 81, breathed her last at Osborne House on the Isle of Wight. Encircled by her children and grandchildren, including the future King Edward VII and Kaiser Wilhelm II of Germany, her departure signified a significant historical moment. Her death symbolised the conclusion of the Victorian era, which many of her subjects had known no other sovereign. Her 63-year reign held the record as the longest in British history until surpassed by Queen Elizabeth II. And how did she meet her end? Victoria succumbed to a cerebral hemorrhage, a form of stroke. However, her health had been steadily declining for several years prior to her passing. Cataracts had clouded her eyesight, and rheumatism had confined her to a wheelchair. In a diary entry on January 4th, 1901, one of her last, she lamented, "From not having been well, I see so badly, which is very tiresome." In the second week of January, the Queen's doctors discovered that she had experienced a series of minor strokes, signalling the approaching end. The royal family gathered at Osborne House to pay their final respects, and on her deathbed, she requested that Churi, her Pomeranian dog, be brought to her. So, what was this great queen buried with? What Queen Victoria chose to be interred with reveals a poignant narrative of her enduring love and loyalty. According to insights from British Heritage, among the items accompanying her in the afterlife were profound symbols of her connection with Prince Albert, her beloved late husband. Famously, Prince Albert, Queen Victoria expressed her grief after his demise in 1861 by donning mourning attire for the ensuing 4 decades of her life. One of the distinctive items that she specifically requested to share her final resting place with was a plaster cast of Prince Albert's hand, crafted shortly after his passing. This intimate relic, believed to have been kept close at night, bore testament to the depth of their connection, providing insight into the Queen's emotional attachment. Furthermore, the royal coffin cradled not only the memory of Prince Albert's touch, but also the tangible presence of his essence. Nestled alongside the monarch in eternal repose was one of Albert's dressing gowns, a garment that once draped the shoulders of this cherished consort, now forever linked with the Queen in the quietude of the grave. In addition to the artefacts tethered to her bond, Queen Victoria's burial ensemble encompassed another tribute to a figure of significance in her life, John Brown, a favoured servant and confidant. Despite King Edward VII's aversion to Brown's outspoken demeanour, erasing mentions of him from royal domains, Queen Victoria remained steadfast in honouring his memory. A diminutive portrait of John Brown accompanied her into the realms beyond, a testament to her enduring regard for his honesty and wit, preserving in death what had been cherished in life. The intricate details surrounding Queen Victoria's burial reflect a profound tapestry of familial love, personal grief, and enduring symbolism. Among the poignant elements interred with Her Majesty, a particularly significant piece was an elaborate cape, a tangible embodiment of maternal affection. Having borne 9 children, Princess Alice held a unique place in Queen Victoria's heart as her clear favourite. However, tragedy struck in 1878 when Princess Alice succumbed to diphtheria at the tender age of 35. The grief that ensued, compounded by the earlier loss of Prince Albert, weighed heavily on the Queen's heart. In a touching homage to her departed daughter, Queen Victoria stipulated that the intricate cape crafted by Princess Alice for Prince Albert be laid to rest with her. This act was not only encapsulated a mother's enduring love, but also memorialised the familial bonds that transcended the boundaries of mortality. In addition to the sentimental connection with Princess Alice, Queen Victoria's burial ensemble bore witness to an unwavering devotion to Prince Albert. The lace wedding veil that she wore at their union in 1840, already a venerable 61 years old at the time of her demise, became a poignant inclusion. This delicate and time-worn fabric symbolised the enduring nature of their union, a testament to a love that transcended the passage of decades. Despite donning black for many years in mourning for Prince Albert, Queen Victoria expressed a distinct preference for the colour white. This preference extended beyond her own wardrobe choices and culminated in a unique request that the public refrain from wearing black in mourning for her, opting instead for the purity of white. This nuanced departure from tradition reflected the Queen's personal affinity for the colour and her pivotal role in popularising the white wedding dress tradition. Beyond the realm of fabrics and hues, Queen Victoria's burial also embraced the opulence of her renowned jewellery collection. Her Majesty, known for her affinity for bling, left instructions for her final adornment. Upon her passing, each finger bore a ring. Her wrists were adorned with stacked bracelets, and layers of necklaces adorned her regal neck. This deliberate inclusion of her cherished jewels spoke not only to her personal style, but also to a desire to carry the essence of her opulent reign into the realm beyond. Thus, Queen Victoria's burial became a tapestry woven with threads of love, remembrance, and a steadfast commitment to the symbols that defined her remarkable life. The inclusion of a bouquet of Scottish heather in the ceremonial farewell to Queen Victoria served as a poignant tribute to her cherished Scottish abode, Balmoral Castle. This symbolically rich gesture reflected the Queen's deep connection to the Scottish estate, where she spent considerable time throughout her life, weaving a floral narrative into the fabric of her final farewell. This tradition found resonance in the later generations as Queen Elizabeth II, her great-great-granddaughter, continued the floral homage to Balmoral. A wreath artfully composed of dahlias, sweet peas, white heather, and pine fir delicately adorned the Queen's coffin. Each bloom, carefully plucked from the sprawling landscapes of the Balmoral estate, carried with it the essence of the Scottish retreat that held a special place in the Queen's heart. This botanical tribute, a tapestry of colours and fragrances, paid homage to the local area where Queen Victoria had spent idyllic summers. As the Queen's life journey concluded, the solemnity of her passing was marked by a meticulous adherence to her prearranged funeral plans, set in motion 4 years prior, with an understanding of the historical significance of her reign, which spanned 64 years, then the longest in British history. Queen Victoria left explicit instructions for a military funeral, a nod to her identity as a soldier's daughter and the esteemed head of the army. The sombre procession of Queen Victoria's coffin culminated in a dignified funeral held at St George's Chapel in Windsor Castle on the 2nd of February. After 2 days of lying in state, a fitting tribute to a monarch of her stature, Queen Victoria found her final resting place beside Prince Albert in the Royal Mausoleum at Frogmore, nestled within the serene area of Great Windsor Park. This sacred interment site became the hallowed ground where the regal couple, forever united in death, contributed to the enduring legacy of the British monarchy.